They offer a pool furniture program, and if you spend like $6,500 on it, they'll deliver it for free. So I mean, their furniture I think is going to be too expensive. However, she can probably help us maybe get some deals and maximize our costs, and she can probably tell you
Where to look.
not just where to look, but what would be the best type of furniture. Because we want to make sure we got to have something that's got, you know, the I'll call them plastic, the hard plastic casters underneath, like the gliders, because metal will tear up our decking. And she'll know exactly what you're talking about there.
Honestly, too, on the Beltway, Sanderson Tollway, like south of Richmond, there's a big furniture place on the right, you know, like where all the Asian places are.
Oh.
And I think it's like Hotel Supply.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I wonder if that's,
Well, there's
how's that pool?
There's also a Southwest Supply, or maybe that might be.
well, there's a company called Patio One Furniture right there just north of West Park. The BJ's furniture, I know BJ, his furniture is gonna be too high end for what we want, because I've already talked to BJ a couple times. I said, you got any discounted stuff you just wanna get rid of? Yeah, but no, I can't get there. He just, you know, BJ's a good guy, but, and I've tried to buy some from him, but he can't get there for really what we want. I mean, we need to buy more than 3 sets. You know, spending $800 on 3 sets is just not really reasonable.
3 sets for each pool?
Well, no, I'm saying if our budget's $2,400,
Yeah,
and you went to Patio One Furniture, you're not gonna get a set of furniture for less than $800. You know, that's just not
I see what
reasonable.
you're saying. Okay.
But let me get, Maureen's number is 713-771-7665. And Greater Houston Patio, or Greater Houston Pool Management should be very
And
attentive to
that's
us
the
right
ones
now.
that we use for our, so I can say I went.
And they're the ones I told
Yeah.
I was very unhappy with how they treated us last year on some items. And Maureen has already contacted me to make sure that that won't happen again this year.
And I'm good with people on the phone. You can ask Will.
You know, according to Will, you're on top of things.
So on the list last time, we just never,
You know-
I didn't actually get us to sit down and do it.
Right, I mean-
That's,
You know, we probably need, Thorn Branch probably needs more furniture than Turkey Creek.
Okay.
Okay, you know,
Nice plastic chairs.
we have no tables. You know, if I had to say, I would say shoot for 6 sets as a starting point.
Okay.
You know, and because I think we all agreed we weren't really concerned about any loungers, but I would certainly get some pricing on some loungers. Because I do think that those are very popular, and I do think if we had more of them, there might be more people utilizing them.
Although I would say actually more chairs to tables over there would be fine for swim meets.
No, absolutely, yeah, I think more chairs to tables, but,
So
you
they don't
know,
necessarily have to.
yeah, let's find out what lounge chairs are at least.
And then
so
swim
we
team
can work
practice,
with.
all the moms pull the chairs around and they sit there and watch them swim, so certainly there's nothing like it.
And there are all indications we will have a swim team this year. I did hear from Chuck Lucas. You're working on the car, Mike? Do we interrupt you?
yeah, I just noticed that too. I was like,
And tonight I'm actually working on the
Okay.
lettuce.
So, so Maureen can point you in the right direction, and, you know, and I looked at one of their flyers, and they kind of showed some high-end stuff, but I guarantee you, they got something that will work for us.
Okay.
I don't know that they're necessarily the best price, but they got something that will work for us. You know, but we can't get Walmart furniture, because that would just be,
It looks sunny.
it all comes from China.
Yeah, I got some.
Nothing's American made. It's all made in China. It's not environmentally aware, so you got to set any concerns from the environmental side when you buy furniture.
Actually, the bigger concern I would be is they use really cheap powder coating.
That's going to be that'll be a concern that you have right there, Mike. Is absolutely correct.
That's the white finish or the black finish on them.
Right.
And so instead of paint, it's a powder that they spray onto it and they heat it and it melts onto it.
But we may not. But there may be furniture we don't even buy that's powder coated too. If you go with some of your cast stuff.
Yeah.
You know. So.
And powder coating is a very durable finish when applied correctly.
Right.
It's great. You can beat it with a hammer.
And the good thing about powder coating is you can take it anywhere. There's several places in Houston we can always have it repowder coated again.
It's expensive.
Well, I don't know what it is relative to buying
It's
the
cheaper than
furniture.
new.
Yeah.
Not nominally cheap.
But if you took in 20 chairs, they're just going to throw it in a big room, right?
Well, it's they have to take all the strappings off, sandblast them.
We're getting all metal chairs. We're not getting strappings, plastic, rubber, anything like that. It's all metal. We don't maintenance free. It works, but we throw it away.
Lasts forever.
We don't need
But
to.
no metal bottoms.
course,
they'll all have metal feet, but you want to make sure that they've got some sort of rubber or plastic footing insert. You know how like you have wood floors, you typically put like a pad on the bottom of your chair? Same concept. Just so we don't, and that would be standard on
If
most
you look at
patio
these white
furniture.
chairs out here, they all have, it's just like a little plastic thing that goes into the tubing.
Yeah.
of course, the flip side of that, might as well just buy bunches and bunches of cheap disposable plastic chairs like we have over Dorm Ranch now, and just know that half of them will go in the trash. Listen,
And I heard, did y'all hear them Saturday? They showed up 2 days early.
Friday.
Was it Friday night?
Yeah.
They showed up early.
I must admit, it was really nice sitting
Music's my
outside
ears.
yesterday and not being eaten by mosquitoes.
Is that when the mosquitoes went down? I didn't realize.
Didn't you realize on
We're on
Sunday?
top of it.
Do they
Well, no, it's
Yeah.
not the Eagles though.
Parking lot
You know, it said Monday or whatever.
Do they
so
spray in the parking lot?
Here,
I doubt it.
should. There's like garden back there.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought
Don't tell
it just
them
seemed nice yesterday. I didn't realize
Right.
that was why.
Yes. Very nice. Okay, I can go look at now.
Thank you. Didn't mean to, well,
You
I
can sleep
didn't,
at their house.
I didn't mean to hang you out, but I really did.
Yeah, much.
Well, I mean,
You know, had I known different, I'd have gone Geico and kept it between us. You know.
number one, I'm not. My feelings aren't too hurt, and number two, I mean, it was my fault for not. I mean, I had the notes, but I needed her to look at it with me, and I never brought it up for you to look at.
I got you.
So,
Okay, so we can call her. Laura's not coming tonight. She's doing, she's getting ready for Super Tuesday.
I have no idea. I just saw them say the name.
Yeah, she's getting ready for Super Tuesday tomorrow. So go out and cast your vote in the primary.
Texas is voting
Oh,
tomorrow?
I don't know. I guess so, if she's getting ready for it. I don't know, why else would she be getting ready for it?
Well, she might just have to go to some meetings sometime. I don't think we're voting tomorrow.
You haven't heard anybody else talking about it, which makes me think that it's not.
I'm not seeing signs up, so you gotta get
I
one.
mean,
Yeah. Well, plus
Talk
we're
about
all
states
messed
where it
up
doesn't
because of
really matter
the
about voting.
redistricting that got all held up in court and everything. So I don't even think they sent out, like, they're supposed to send out the voter registration cards and then later on
Yeah,
that. And there's
Rick
this
Perry
whole-
probably fixed it, he's already got Texas vote. That's scary.
That's right.
So, alright, so
this video on.
Yeah,
So we'll call our meeting to order here at 7:41. I move that we dispense with the reading of the minutes from the February meeting.
second.
Approved as read. They were sent via email. Any changes? All right, approved.
So moved,
Rock
approved.
Big news here in the neighborhood. So we are moving forward. It looks like we will have a swim team, which is very exciting. You know, Chuck had indicated that he wasn't going to do anything for swim team this year, and he's said that.
Started.
And now he's in the process of trying to get things started, get the ball rolling for us.
it's Chuck. I don't. I'm not
Chuck Lucas, he lived here in the neighborhood for a number of years. And he's been affiliated with the swim team for quite a while with his
Did
kids
a
on
great
it.
job.
In the last 3 years, 4 years? How long has he been directing?
Oh, longer.
I don't know how long he's been directing.
I don't know how long.
But quite a while.
But he'd given the impression he wasn't going to do
You know,
it.
Well,
said-
he was gonna
said
step
I'm
down.
done. He said I'm done, because his kids aren't gonna swim this year,
Because he's
from what
got
I
a
understand.
freshman, college freshman. I think his
Right.
Cameron,
youngest is probably a sophomore.
which, is Cameron the oldest?
Cameron's the oldest, and then,
But he's done a great job.
yeah.
So he said he's going to.
He's gonna get the ball rolling for us.
And we have
He-
Coach Marburger.
He made it very clear he is not going to be involved in day-to-day activities of the swim team.
Okay.
And it's very clear, if we're gonna have a successful swim season, then we're gonna have to have many parents, probably 4 or 5 parents, helping to run the season. That's the only way it's gonna work. There's not a single parent that I've tried to recruit who wants to take it on.
Well, nobody wants to take on the whole, the problem is Chuck, I mean, it's not a problem, but Chuck,
High
he
expectations.
did it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
Be it good, be it bad.
no,
Right.
one person just coming into it, even if you were like full-time
Yeah.
stay-at-home mom and could put your whole thing into it, could probably do what Chuck was doing, because he'd just been doing it for so long and
He's efficient.
efficient and whatnot. So, but I think, if they can split that role up into a couple different
Absolutely.
roles, and get some,
And he's planning to set up what he calls a parent involvement meeting. He doesn't know, I would hope that comes in the next couple of weeks.
yeah.
my guess is that it's gonna come next week on spring break when I'm out of town.
All right, well, make sure he knows I can help with the email blasts and all
And
that.
that's what I asked
know
for.
he's got his list as well, but it's
But
also good
I was
to.
looking for him to transition a lot of that electronic stuff over to me so we could get rolling, because I was assuming he wasn't gonna be involved.
Uh-huh.
And that's when he told me, he's like, no, I'll be involved, and, you know, so he will
Let me ask you
transition.
this though, I know we've participated in the XYZ League or whatever, but talking to the Masias, they're in a different league, and she said they get all their swim meets done in like a 3-week period. They run like a Wednesday night and a Friday night swim meet.
Ours don't run more than a 3 or 4 week period.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, our first swim meet is maybe June, and we're finished by July 4th or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
They're all, once they start, they're kind
They
of
go
bang,
fast.
bang, bang.
yeah,
I mean, you remember.
it's just the practice that takes forever.
The everyday practice.
Right,
Right.
and that I think is one of the hardest parts about is you got to have somebody there every day to open the pool, and you got to have somebody there every day to close the pool. And clearly, that can be 2 parents. Somebody opens and somebody
And I can
closes.
close.
And that can be 4 or 5 parents. You can rotate that out. I think there are some solutions for that right there. There's no question about that. So, you know, the concession thing, that went off without a hitch. Andrea did a great job. Andrea and, what's the other lady's name?
Christine.
Yeah, they did a great job with that. You know, we ran the facilities without any real problem there. Cassandra took care of the photography and the treasurer stuff, which I think she's on board to do again this year.
Mhm.
You know, she's got that on autopilot. So it's just really about coordinating the events, where they're going to be, what time they're going to be. And Chuck said we'd still be in the same league.
So a lot of that, there's no decision involved. The league will come back and tell us.
Well, I mean, somebody probably needs to be talking to whoever runs the league to say, you know, yeah, we're in and blah, blah, blah.
While Chuck indicated that we're in, and Cassandra, I talked to her last night. She said, we're in the league. We're set, ready to go.
Oh, okay.
You know, once
So
we're
that's-
in,
that's-
we're in.
that's
It's
awesome.
not like we have to go back to them every year and reaffirm.
I got
That
you.
was kind of the impression we had to do.
Right. Same here.
Right. So,
Good.
so we will have a swim team.
That's great news.
We just got to get the ball. We're a little behind. I think some of the other neighborhoods have already started kind of getting the word out at least. But people are talking, which I think is really important. People are talking to other parents about, have you heard about swim team? What are we going to do? Because they're like us. Do we need to go to another neighborhood to swim?
When do we want to do this? Start the swim team sign up.
We're going to wait for Chuck. That's the thing. Can't do it because he's got all that contact
Well,
information.
but let's talk about just swim pool membership. Right, so we've got to start opening the sign up for that at some point. Too.
You know, last year we opened the pools May 1st.
Right.
I'm all for opening them May 1st again.
Yeah, I think.
Just gotta remind me to turn the money in.
Yeah, so we need to get the money, and you know, get them to sign the thing, and I'll do the online deal again, and
You know, the question is, you know, we talked about, you know, are we going to go $75 or $80? You know, I think we all agreed that trying to jump too much, you know, is just not going to be beneficial for us. But
right.
to go from $70 to $75 probably wouldn't be unreasonable. To go $70 to $80, especially given that, you know, we are looking to bring in some new furniture, which I understand is being paid for based off special assessment fees.
Right, we
and-
still have landscaping also.
Right,
We've got to
but-
do the facilities upgrades over there still.
Right, but we are looking to put a little bit more into it, and more importantly, and this is that, you know, we're looking to open this facility, you know, I would say from Memorial Day through Labor Day, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, about having this building open for access. You could come hang out in it. You could, you know, do whatever you want.
Play ping pong.
Play ping pong. You know, with a little bit of luck, maybe we'll have a TV between now and then. Because Bob has ordered some locks for us that we could essentially use with your key card to get in and out of here.
Yeah, I have an update on that. I
Bet they're
had a
expensive.
little bit of a setback. Yeah, they're going to be more expensive than I thought.
Okay.
So when we talked last time, we were talking about $79
You're gonna make it a
for
whole
pool
lot.
membership.
I don't want $79.
Hey,
Make it $80. I mean,
80.
if I had to write a $79 check, I'd be going 80 because it's easier on my register.
Okay.
prime number.
And $20 if they need a new key card.
Yeah, that was the thing, because, you know, you talked about we wouldn't have to reprogram their cards.
Right.
As long as you have your card from last year, you can keep it again this year.
Right.
Just send us your check for $80 and you're good to go. You know, and if you lost your card, it's $100.
Yeah, but you know, everyone's used to getting a new card every year.
I sent an email at the end of the last season telling people to hang on to their cards, yada yada.
I'll be right with your 20 bucks.
Fine.
Did you chunk it?
That's revenue for us.
I haven't known where it was for long. I remember Lucy would find
Oh, yeah.
And you know, and then next year people remember, because I don't want to collect cards and give cards back every year. I want people to get in the habit of just keep your card.
Yeah, 'cause-
It's your one card. It's going to be the same thing. It'll give you the same access for the clubhouse,
Yeah.
the gates, whatever. The card reader that I thought would work actually was not compatible with the cards that we have. It required some kind of non-standard card.
We paid about $600 for those cards. They weren't horribly.
No. But I don't want to. I don't want to have to change people's
Oh, yeah,
cards
yeah,
out.
yeah.
I want a card reader that
You
will
gotta
read
find a
those
reader.
standard cards.
My mistake, yeah.
So that went back, and they're taking it back. So we'll get our money back for that. But I have to now find a card reader and a door controller that's compatible with systems. So it's probably going to be.
Do you want to call that
more.
guy Table Locks?
Well, that's the thing I was thinking, is so we may want to just ask them to bid on it, because they said like for $1,000 they could do something.
Yeah, he wasn't crazy about these units that we have in here, and I don't
I'm
know.
not crazy about
I
that.
don't-
This
I don't-
one's down again. I don't know if it's just the batteries are leaking again or what.
Do you want to? Jessica's got his phone number. Just email
Yeah,
Jessica.
I've got his number.
Yeah.
I've
I'd call him. Tell him what you want to do,
right,
because we want to be able to manage it via the internet if we can,
right.
and figure what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
You know, here's the good news: is that if we had to swap our cards out, I bet he'd give us a credit on the cards we could return back to him, because he could
I
resell
don't think
those.
we'll have to swap the cards out. Well, the cards we have are like a standard card.
generic cards. What?
Yeah, and it was this particular reader that.
We could get into Citibank with them, right?
Yeah, actually, Citibank uses the same cards, but they'd probably use the fancier ones that have more. Whatever, never mind. Stop.
Bob like Citibank securities all bad. This they're doing it wrong.
Right.
Okay. All right. So that's good news there on that. Plumber. He didn't call me.
I didn't do it. I didn't do anything.
Were you happy with what he did at your
Yeah,
house?
yeah. No, he came, he did a good job, they were professional, it was cheap. They were quick, I mean, I thought they were great.
Okay.
And he's a nice guy.
Yeah, and you said that, I mean, it wasn't Charlie that
His
came
cousin.
out, but
Okay.
well, I don't know that for sure, most likely,
Yeah, his
yeah.
cousin, there it is.
All right. So So here's the deal.
Yeah, I haven't, my off Friday is this Friday, so,
You're off this Friday.
yes.
You got a key to the pool, right?
I do not, but that shouldn't be that hard to get you.
You can come to the pool anytime you want.
These keys. I've got keys in my-
Just come over to my house. We've got keys.
to the Turkey Creek, to the Thorn Branch
I
pool.
give you a set of keys.
Okay.
I give mine to the long
So-
house.
You know, I don't mind calling tomorrow and
Set it up just whenever you want to go over there.
and
And
get him to come meet
it-
me for a bid, I guess. I mean,
No, yeah, I'll be in New York, so you're on your own.
but knowing
And we're gonna tell
how they
Michelle you're
work,
on
then
top
they
of
want to
this.
just do it right when they get there. I'll see if I can't get Charlie on the phone, unless you feel more confident talking to him.
Here's the deal.
I-
If you're there and he gives you, here's what we want to do ultimately is A, pull all the commodes out. And you got to tell him we need super non-stoppable, unstoppable, just, it's got to flush everything at one time.
How many are there?
There's 3. There's 2 in the women's,
What
1 in the
about over
men's. Those are priority over there because we get the swim team is what blows those out. To my knowledge, these are never backed up over
You said
here.
super flushers?
We need super flushers. He'll understand because tell him we've got 250 people that show up for a swim meet. We don't have time for something to get stuck.
And every meet we are swapping.
And he'll completely understand because the guy at Crown Plumbing that came out, he said our problem was that the drain, or I guess the throat, if you will, was not big enough.
Yeah, they're not going to listen to me. Last time I tried to tell them what
They'll tell him what to do. Just let him tell us what we
the
need.
plumber
Right.
did before, and he's like, well, they didn't know what they're doing.
Just let him tell us what we need. Secondly is that the showers don't work. And the reason that the showers don't work, The reason the showers don't work is because there's only one line that goes in there, and apparently they put
They're cold water only, they're plumbed only for cold
Yeah.
water, there's not a hot water heater over there. So I think all that whole diffuser thing needs to be ripped out, and needs to have just a single valve.
Do we want hot water?
No, we just want a valve that is like
We
on
don't
off
want to
instead of
manage
hot and
water
cold.
heaters.
Because in the summer, the water is.
Yeah, like it's 100 degrees outside. You need hot water.
And he'll know what that's going to cost. So say, look, give me a cost to do what we need to do here. I don't care about the work he's got it done. Just tell him he's got to do everything start to finish.
Well, he won't do the, if he rips it out, you gotta have to put a new wall face up.
Yeah, they didn't do that part. I had to
Okay.
get
All right, that's
Victor
we'll figure
Lopez
that
to
out.
come out and
Right.
Just
Yeah,
figure out.
something like that.
We'll figure out the other stuff. That's
Right
easy
now,
for us to do.
are there plastic panels in there? I don't even recall.
That was wood.
Just painted wood.
We'll figure it out.
Question: Will if I go over there to meet with them and I have like hey, I gotta ask a question. Will you be around to answer it? If
Yeah,
I-
probably. Let me know what it is, and you know, I'll do it together with you if I'm free.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, no. I just want to have like
Right.
somebody on the phone to say they're asking me this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
They'll know what we want. The sinks over there, by and large, I think work fine. You can just have him take a look at them just while you're there, but by and large, they're fine.
There's one or two sinks
There's-
here that don't work.
So over here, I think we got to have a sink replaced, just because it's about to fall off the wall.
It has fallen off
It
the
has
wall.
fallen off the
We have the sink. We could probably the sink part is okay.
It's just the wall bracket is.
It just needs a new bracket. So if we want to reuse that one or put in new ones, you know,
Just
whatever's
See if he can fix what we have.
whatever they
Fix
want
what we
to.
got over here.
See if he can fix what we have. If he can't fix what we have,
Right. And
Tell 'em
then
what it's gonna
the
cost.
one there's one in the boys' room that doesn't drain.
There's one missing.
Huh?
There's one missing in one of the. ladies'
Well, there's
room.
one missing in the ladies' room. There's the
And
one.
then the other one's falling off the wall in the bedroom.
No.
I know a lot of plumbers will install stuff for you, but they're not going to go out and buy things for you. So
Yeah, they will.
yeah, they will.
They will?
He'll just
Yeah,
charge
buy
us for
marked
materials.
Marked up 30%.
Just let him give you a turnkey price on everything. Just
Okay.
right. If it comes back it's too high, we'll reevaluate. If it comes back it's affordable,
Well, then I'll call him and yell at him.
yeah. Either way. Either way. You know. But here's the thing. He can start whenever he wants. Everything has to be completed no later than April 20th. That gives us 10 days if
I
something
would
goes
say
wrong.
April 1st, and that gives us time to do any painting. Wall
No.
repair.
I mean,
So
that's
month.
March.
Something like
That's fine.
He can do a whole house in 3 days.
I understand. I just didn't know how busy his schedule was, but
This is a perfect filling job for him because his offices aren't far. He actually lives like just a little bit out in Katy, so.
okay.
April 15th,
Yeah, let's not.
You
Just tell him. I mean, here's the
Just-
deal.
ASAP.
If the price is right, we're going to tell him go. I mean, if he's well within the ballpark of where we need to be, we're just going to tell him to go.
Are there showers over here?
No.
No.
And any
But
idea
we
what,
do have.
why they were casting money out or whatever?
They probably just.
Like to the mason.
It'd be nice to have maybe even just an outdoor shower, like over by that
Outdoor
faucet. You know, just like on it with a chain or something.
So you can wash the flooring. Because people do want to wash flooring
And,
off.
and,
I understand that.
and that actually could be a perfect solution for on the other side too. The valves are probably cheaper. The valve is mounted outside the wall, so maintenance on it is easier. I mean, any reason we wouldn't put those in
No.
across the way?
I don't think so.
Okay,
You know what
so
we're
this
talking about? So instead of you turning a knob on the wall to turn the water on, it's just plumb solid, and then there's a little valve up here on a chain. You pull the chain,
That's, yeah, he'll know exactly what you're
and
talking
they have
about.
that like a yeah.
That might
So
even,
the shower here or for both? Or-
no, over there. Yeah,
No.
cool.
But one here for outside would be good.
Where is water over here?
Right over there, there's a faucet.
There's a faucet right there.
by that
Shoot
gate,
it up.
and you just go up from that, pop it out, blammo.
Because I think I think they installed a drain over in this corner.
Yeah,
right there.
there's a drain that runs along this whole
I don't need to
structure.
be non-PC, but what is how is his English?
Perfect. Probably
Okay.
great. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm going to send an email and say, I'll probably draft an email tonight or tomorrow morning and then send it and say,
No whereas or wherefores. It'll be all right.
I don't write like that. So.
But you're a lawyer. I thought. Where's? No, that's
Yeah,
legislation.
no 15 commas in one sentence.
Yeah, no, but I wanted to know what I would be able to do. Because if I can send them it in writing, you know, for instance, when I gave him my address over the phone, it was kind of like,
But no, it'll be fine.
he was like, also it's, you know, camelback, you know. I think it'd be easier, but I sent him an email my address, and that worked perfectly, so.
All right, cool. Because we need to get that project rolling, because someone will be here before we know it.
While we're on pools and subject to that, parking lot here.
We just have to decide to spend the 8K, 9K, 7K.
This is our budget. We have
Yeah,
We can do it.
We can do it.
I thought we had.
I think the number was 7K. that
7K?
guy- Yeah, that's a good, solid, whole number.
Let's do it because do we want to go through another pool season with
I
and
know.
it's worse?
Have you gone to that party and seen their pool?
Yeah.
I want to spend it.
And their facilities really need some work too. They are not keeping up with their facilities the way they should.
That's the one. Well, Kirkwood's not keeping up there, so that place is falling apart.
Well, but there's some things that they need to spend some money on, some infrastructure over there at the Forest Club. I mean,
I'll trade them.
yeah, no, our decking is better than their decking around the pools. That's for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
So is there a motion to go forward with the parking lot?
Motion to go forward with the parking lot.
A second.
All in favor? Aye.
Opposed.
Rock and roll.
All right. Who's going to do it?
I'll call him back. I got his number still.
Oh, yeah, I need to, one thing I just realized, I need to get the address for Thorn.
802 Thorn Branch.
802 Thorn.
It's at the corner of Kimberly and Thorn Branch. It's the only building over there that looks like a pool. So Mike brings up a good point. It's something I want to bring up, talk about. Okay, so we got those facilities taken care of. Pool.
So the other big thing I'm thinking about is, I'm sorry Laura's not here because I know she wants to talk about the lawn maintenance, but the next step of that also is spring planting and objectives there.
We haven't really had anybody come forward,
So this
but we probably need to send out a reminder email. Why don't we send out a volunteer email? Say, are you interested in, providing suggestions for what you'd like to see planted in the common areas?
and it's got to be more suggestions.
Or-
We need a plan.
A plan, that type
A
of thing.
list of 15 plants is worthless.
Understood.
We need, someone to come up and do a sketch, and this is what, Now, I think a lot of the stuff is in good shape. The embankment needs some help.
Yeah, and we knew that would be a phased approach, but, clearly the areas that we're currently paying for that are gonna get planted are the front entrances, right? I mean, we're not gonna we're not doing any construction at those entrances, but we're clearly they're gonna plant some flowers there, they're gonna redo some planting up at the Derry Ashford entrance. The pool, they don't need to plant the pool until sometime in April, they could even do it in,
Right?
I think it'd be nice to have it done the day we're out there handing cards out or doing whatever we have the pool open, but,
Absolutely.
and that's not an expensive project, we need something that's gonna last, look nice for
Fatina's now the back fence.
4 years, and then, by the way, at the end of September or in October, you're gonna come through and rip it all out. Because we're not interested in, the plan was not to put anything that's gonna grow year in and year out. It's seasonal. Be done with it.
I would say,
I mean, I don't
there
think
would
we
be
want,
clumps of like Fatinas and hardy green plants.
whatever we do, we gotta make sure, A, it's not gonna grow and crack the deck, which is why we had to take those other trees out, because that was gonna happen. And B, we can't have a bunch of cracks going into the pool, which is what those crepe myrtles did. That's,
So the plan on that is we'll ask for volunteers, and if they don't deliver, then we'll go back to Texas Tropical and ask them to give us some design.
Yeah, I mean, in the absence of community input, I'm sure.
Plan B.
Yeah, they'll probably come up with something better than we
Yeah.
will.
Something to get a
But-
little work upon, get a little extra labor on, they'll be happy.
yeah, and that was-
Yeah,
that
but
was
you
the
know
whole
what?
thing.
It'll probably also be something that they can
Maintain
most
great
easily maintain, without.
nominal maintenance, right?
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, I didn't see,
So-
I had it in my mind, there was no reason to spend, and this is what Santa Cruz told us, it's like, $500. Can you maintain this? Can you plant something, have it maintained through the whole summer? Because the sprinklers were there. And he's like, yeah, that was the number that we kind of came up with, and if it's something that we could,
And it needs topsoil.
if Texas Tropical says, here's something that you could plant that would serve your needs, that, could be maintained year round, and then, May through September, put in the seasonal stuff, just to kind of give it some color, that's fine too. Yeah.
So we've got the back fence over there. Do we need to do anything on the north side of the pool house? We need to haul that crap off.
You know, like,
Got an old table and
it will get hauled off, especially once we get it
It's
furnished
scrap
and stuff. Take it.
it's good looking.
Go to,
Might be worth $3.
get $2 bills.
$2 bills.
Yeah, I don't even know that you could weigh
And
that.
we've got the embankment. Do we want to try to do any landscaping at Muse or Laura's house? Is this the time we at least start that ball rolling?
I think it's to start that ball rolling. I definitely think we want to do something. We need to talk to the people at Muse though. Say, look, we can tear part of your yard. Because that's what's ultimately going to happen. is-
Well,
Sure.
to take a look at the space first. There's not much to work with.
No.
That's what I'm saying. There's not. I mean, you're going to tear up what 2 to 3 feet for sure, right? Width-wise and lengthwise is probably not what more than 20 feet
Right?
each
Not
side.
even, like 8 feet, 2 foot. by
Yeah.
8 foot.
No,
Yeah,
it's not even
Not
that.
that big.
It's not. It's like, I don't know. 3 by
Because
5
I
or
know
something.
that
It's-
I know because there are some existing what I think are crepe myrtles that are planted there, and at least at one house. I don't know if they're on the other house too. But I mean, it's we're about tearing something up. And more importantly, is like, can we get water to them?
Yeah.
Who is that family there? Would they be, could we give them $20 a month for water, whatever we put in?
I don't know.
Meter,
I don't know.
Rather give them than buy a meter
meter $1,600, right?
Oh, forget that.
plus your deposit.
And then along that cemetery wall, I thought of some trees. I haven't done anything with it yet.
Right. We're talking Arbor Day or something. but-
Which would minister right Houston on the day next year. Stretch goal.
So all right. So speaking of,
What about the main Turkey Creek entrance over here?
what does
There's a lot of
Cecilia want
trash
to
I
do?
noticed.
What's Cecilia want to do with that, Bob? She said.
No.
Do you want her to say, or is she not going to get involved with that this year?
I don't know.
You want to ask her?
Sure.
Ask what she wants to do. Well, that'll be our guide. And we will get rolling with that. So one of the things that I talked to Mike, I don't think I emailed this out to y'all. So we got to do something with this little embankment right here. This is this little side street off of Kimberly. When the apartment complex redid that fence, that whole little area right there, that whole little embankment just got torn up. It's just falling down and
And now I
looking
can't
ratty.
say it was the apartments. I went and looked at it, and it's a retaining wall. And they built a retaining wall out of pieces of wood that were no longer than 3 foot long.
I don't know that it was, but it was certainly substantial. I mean, a year ago, it was still in one piece,
Yeah, but
but it was still going to be due for some repair. Absolutely.
it was not built properly.
It's not real. So, did you ever talk to Margot about that?
No.
I'll send it to Laura and let Laura do it because Laura's volunteered to really kind of head up our whole landscaping
But
thing.
they're not in the construction business like that.
I wouldn't think it would.
I've got it.
It's a day's worth of work. I mean, the 4 of us could go out there at 8 in the morning and be done by 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon.
Can I see the picture?
But I couldn't give you any time until May to do that, unfortunately.
Now, let me ask you this. Certainly those
Sure,
neighbors
no.
benefit there. The guy
What
on
exactly
the
would need to be done?
east
I
side,
don't know.
looking at the condition of his lawn,
He-
would not care about that.
I don't even know. I thought that guy was dead. And then one day I saw somebody in the house. I'm like, oh, I guess somebody does live there.
And then,
But you never see people coming in at the house.
on the other side, that's the house. They're
He's working on his house.
Their house
He's-
looks nice.
right.
They got a
He's-
great house.
And I think that guy, if we built that up and we did something, I think he would probably help take care of that you know, I don't think we can plant anything there other than some sort of ivy to grow up over the fence or something like that.
But we need to do something so it's not.
But we need to do
getting there.
something, so it's, yeah, because it does look crappy.
I would just think big posts and then 2x8s if treated.
I mean, I'm all for us doing it ourselves. I mean,
Be fun.
it'd be fun, but who can get to it when?
Spring break next week.
I leave town Wednesday, and I'll see y'all on the 19th of March, 18th of March. So,
I'm willing to help somebody, but I'm not handy.
you
So.
know, you don't have to be handy. You can pick up shovel and shovel dirt, right?
That I can do.
So, um, I can spearhead that. I've got to work for B2 that I can enlist, and I'll just turn the receipts in.
Okay.
And then speaking of Kimberly, the guy on the corner who parks on his dirt
And drives over our pavers.
and drives over our pavers. If you notice that whole stretch of the street now, the gutter is filled with dirt again. After I spent 3 hours last summer shoveling it all out, because that's to follow his lawn.
I can only imagine that's where because I noticed it's right there at that one little area mostly.
It goes all the way down now to Kimberly.
It's finally eroded down that far.
Yeah. So, is there anything that do we need to send them a letter? Let them know we're going to start notifying the city.
Sending like the 8th letter.
Then what's the next step? Then to start calling the city and complaining on it.
First of all, I want them to pay their bill. They're in the process of paying their bill. They sent us a check in January, or they sent us a check in February. I guess they called Jessica, or got a letter. But anyway, Jessica
They're
got
working
word
on it, okay.
that they said absolutely said, here's our he's like, here's our payment, and it came in early February. They would be making another one at the end of February, early March, and they said we will pay you every month until it's paid off. And will you turn our garbage back on? Like absolutely. I mean, they went 2 pickups without garbage. First of all, I had to roll dispose. I had to stay on their ass. Finally, tell them.
It's hard for them. Though.
It is hard. Absolutely, it is hard. Then it is hard. I get that.
They went above and beyond.
Right, and so they did it. But as soon as they got their garbage and get picked up, they were on the phone and they had a check in the mail.
So actually, now that we've got their attention, is this
So we'll
another letter?
send them another
We'll
reminder.
discontinue your garbage if we see a car there. I guess we can't do that.
I
Though.
want them to pay their bill. Let's get the money first. Because here's the thing, it's like we're going to discontinue your garbage. And then not only we're out the money we owed, then they just stop paying, period, right? For whatever they owe for 2012. So, and these people are the oddest people. He cut down 2 damn pine trees today that were dead finally. They died this past summer and he decided, he took down 2 40-foot pine trees. I mean, so what did he spend there? $400, $500?
But he got to the point now where they're starting to rot and risk for trouble.
Right, no, I
More than
understood.
that.
He understood that they were probably going to fall. There's no doubt. But it's just amazing all of a sudden some of the stuff they spend on at their house. So I'm tired of being barking in the yard. I see it every damn day. And then I saw the truck marks on them. Like, so that's another reason why I think we need to start doing something over there at that Kimberly embankment. Because more importantly, I want to push those pavers out even further.
Landmines.
Yeah. Absolutely. I want to push them out even further and take up as much space as we can. And kind of go that route. He's a nice guy. They do work in the neighborhood. I mean, they're doing work for people in our neighborhood,
Yeah, no, I think they're good to have interaction with clients.
So
We'll
just send another reminder. I'll just have Jessica.
And what happens is we get worse though in the summer though when everyone's home. Right?
I think everyone's home now.
Pardon?
I think everyone's home now.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's any more vehicles coming.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's a problem. So that's good news there. God, you reminded me about what I was going to tell you, and then I completely drew a blank.
Let's see, what's the progress of the house on Turkey Creek here?
It looks beautiful.
Is it?
Yeah.
Put in grass a few weeks ago.
They put it in brand new grass. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and
The dumpster's
the
gone.
dumpster's gone.
Great.
I mean, it looks like
Looks like it should.
it looks like it should. It looks like a house that's going to go on the market.
We we did good work on that. We really did. Took a while, but we did it. We,
Now, there was that email that someone sent about some homes that are in disrepair, and my comment back was, what can we do about it? What are
and we
gonna
said,
do
get
about
us the addresses. That came from somebody in the security committee. I think it was Jen.
it? But, yeah, I was on Turkey Creek, there's 3 houses that are,
I'd say just get us the addresses and we'll,
And that, you know, when in disrepair, what that necessarily means?
to me, it's like, I don't know what art is, but I don't know if I like it, I suppose.
like there was a guy on our street and he had a fascia board that had a hole in it.
From a squirrel, a critter.
And we sent this guy a couple letters and all of a sudden he got everything fixed. You just got to kind of, you can just drive through the neighborhood and you got to kind of tell the people. And I think I took a picture of the house and I circled the areas on the photo with a red line and said, these are the areas that, need to be corrected. And
Well, what are our rights under our current deeds to compel people? And because we get into the spring,
we can fine the people X dollars a day, according to our restrictions, if I remember correctly.
I don't know if we
Yeah.
can
I
find
didn't
them.
know.
I don't know. Matt Culpepper was telling us this. He's like, because they had some people that did that and they fined them. And so they fined them $35 a day or something.
Get your attention.
Okay.
But then, how do you-
Right? Let them prove it that we can't fine them.
Okay, true.
Right? It's like, oh, we made a mistake. So we just have to get a list of houses together, and we'll see what action they take. Like I said, I think it was Jen to get us a list of addresses, and if she didn't get us a list of addresses, then
I'm a violator from Project Light Up. I need help getting my mantles. I've never done that
we're
before.
going to discontinue your trash. We decided that today.
So,
Um,
see, I put my Christmas tree up.
But-
I picked it up.
The good news is Michelle and Colette are going to take on that project, spearhead that, manage that, and so we'll have a big program coming out in April, which will be very beneficial, I think, to get some stuff going. There's still something just uber critical that I needed to tell you guys.
It's just right there.
God,
Right there.
I mean, I had it twice, and you said something I'm like,
The pine tree on Memorial, did they haul that off?
gone today. The Splendid was there picking everything up today. I don't know why.
Graffiti?
I
I've got
have
the chemicals.
I've got the
there.
letters in my car, and they just have to be spray painted black.
I'm just trying to spark your mind.
Right.
The chemicals arrived at my house.
AT&T is
so-
going to clean up all that mess over there.
And text.
And okay, yeah, that's
Center
not,
point.
That's not it.
that's good though. But so Mike is going to take care of that. Do you want me to give you the letters tonight?
Hold on, no. This is only just one thing at a time.
Okay.
And
I'll-
then,
I'll put them in my garage.
Then maybe with Mr. Willie, what's his name?
Bryant.
Bryant, coordinate so we can get a hose for the pressure.
Okay, good. So when you're with Mr. Bryant,
So this segues into our other,
it's time to do some brick repair, folks.
especially since we've got allocations for it now.
Yep. So this is a piece of the monument. This is a piece of the monument over off of Memorial near Perthshire. And just show it. So if you're looking at Perthshire, you look down the left, you go just past the sign. You can see 2 big old sections that are just starting to pull apart. So my question out to y'all is A,
I saw that
do-
last year.
Okay, well,
Yeah, last year.
do we want to utilize Mr. Bryant? From a brickwork standpoint, I think he does good work. Let's not talk about the design capabilities and how he was managed. That's not the topic of the
Right.
night. But do we want to use him? Number one, cost-wise, I don't know if he's fair or not. But number two, he's been in the neighborhood. He's done a lot of work in the neighborhood. I think he does a pretty good job. Or number two, do we want to try to find a brick company to come out here and just distance ourselves from, people that live in our neighborhood? Have that business to neighborhood
Well,
relationship.
I certainly believe that, the responsible thing to do is get some general bids. But this is the kind of project there, how can you get a bid? Because you say do all of it, do this, do that,
I don't know how much of the wall is going to be taken down. Has he got to take down the whole pillar? Can it be patched? I know nothing about
Right,
masonry.
now it is, you don't want to pay an hourly and you don't want to.
Well, I think he'd give us a flat rate. I think he'd look at it and say it's $350. I do. I think he would give you a flat rate of what it is.
So maybe we do this, maybe we choose, so we can do an apples to apples, we choose the 5 worst things in the neighborhood like that we can figure out and get bids on those 5 things. And then, you just go from there.
Okay.
Um,
What's happening here at the monuments? Do you know what needs to be repaired on the monuments here? 'Cause I know we talked about some stuff last year. They were starting to get some cracks.
So good.
On these?
Mm-hmm.
Then the next thing though, on that, it's the same topic. If you drive down Memorial, if you look like past where the lumber pile was, the log pile was, I mean, there's places there where the soil was eroded away from the base of the wall, and I'm sure that needs to be backfilled in so it doesn't wash out.
Okay.
You know, along Memorial Drive, just before Kirkwood, what's that name of that pool over there? Memorial at Kirkwood?
The Memorial West Club? I think it's what it- Memorial West,
Memorial
yeah.
West. They had, their walls are shorter than ours. Their walls are 4-foot walls or whatever. There's a section there that fell.
Mhm.
And I wonder if we know anybody on the board over there where we can ask them, what's it cost to get an accurate gauge and what it's going to cost.
Probably just go to their website and email, say, hey, we're so-and-so, you got a brick
Yeah.
person.
Or ask
Do that.
Ben Crocker, he knows who,
Yeah.
who's.
But they're the only ones along the
Homeowners
wall that can
Association.
replace their wall with a floating wall.
Okay.
So we can certainly, they can be, I'm sure, the harder of bad news for us.
Okay. All right. So we'll get the brick people going. And if you'll, maybe the next day or two, if you can just check around these monuments here, snap some photos.
Yeah.
Either you or Will,
I'm
whichever.
not aware of anything critical on these. There's the wall over here.
Right. That's separated.
That, you know, and that's my concern is that, is it just better to wait for that wall to fall, or do we take it down and fix it? I don't know what's cheaper, or is it the same? I don't know.
And then it's back to the academic question: is who owns the wall? Well, if it falls, is it gonna start the firestorm?
He ain't gonna fix it. I'm telling you, he ain't gonna
They
fix
put
it.
a wood fence up.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, if I owned that house and that wall fell, I'd have to say, Mr. Association, you got to prove that it's my wall. I'd put the onus completely on the neighborhood association. And I'd say legally and everything, you got to prove it to me legally, the whole 9 yards, and I'd put you out thousands of dollars. And I could string it along for years before you could make me do anything, right?
Right. So do we let it fall, and then that's the
Well,
impetus to get our ball rolling on this?
I just don't know what's cheaper. That's what I don't know. If it falls, great, the damage is done. You don't have to clean it up, and you got to build it back. Because if you tear it apart, can you reuse any of the bricks?
And you build to the new standard, the floating wall.
That's clearly what we'd have our brick people come and assess as well. What are options here? And I think you're talking about. I don't think you're talking at least a full 8-foot section. I think on that wall, if not 16. On 2 of the sections, right?
So
The way it leans.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think you could blow 10K on that 16-foot section
I do easy.
without batting an eye.
Right.
That's why I don't know if that's a priority piece, because it could be that way for 5 years.
You don't know.
And it could be there for 5 days.
Don't put your car.
Yeah, no, parking correct. So, okay. So we get the brick guy going. Jessica sent the financials out, and the good news is that the same people that haven't paid their annual maintenance fees this year are the same people that didn't do it last year and the previous years.
How's the trash thing working on those folks?
Well, they're not affected at this point. We've only got 3 houses that are affected by trash, and Bob and Will don't know if the Weiss family's getting their trash picked up, so I'll just have to start coming over here and monitor the 2 addresses over here. But it worked for the guy down the street from my house, right? So I'll just have to start monitoring the other houses.
What was the other? I thought there was just Scott Weiss on this side.
Maybe it's because he has 2 houses, and I always think that there's 2 people. He's got 2 bills.
Oh, this and the
Okay.
bankruptcy. Let me. That's in
Because they should be on
Jessica's.
Jessica's financials. So the good news is that, money is coming in. We've got the same set of violators, which is good news. So predictable, I should say, not necessarily good news. So that brings us back to our plan of, if you've not paid your bill in full by end of March, April 1, we cut your trash off. Are we still on board with that plan?
What's the percentage outstanding? Are we still at 25% not paid for this year?
Um,
I'm trying to pull up.
what's the number of outstanding for this year?
Let's see. It's about 20 grand.
That's about 10%. That's
Yeah, it's 19,643.30.
that is a consistent number.
If I'm
with-
looking at the right thing.
That's a consistent number
Right.
with what I've
So
seen
let's
year
see,
over year since I've been on the
25,
board.
20.
I feel we
25.
get tax refunds and all that, so
So see,
it's 12 this year.
6,
Because I didn't file my
6,
2010
24, 26
Okay.
addresses.
That's good, then. Actually, that's great.
Yeah.
That's like 7 or 8%.
So,
Do we want to send them a
we're
letter?
gonna send reminder letters in February, letting them know that, hey, you know, here's what you do. If your payment is received on or before March 31st, thank you very much. Obviously, all your late fees are paid and all that good stuff. You know, effective April 1, we're gonna stop picking up the trash.
So that letter needs to go out soon.
That letter will go out. That they'll have at least 2 to 3 weeks
Okay, that's a
notice.
certified deal too.
I think it's worth sending certified. I hate to pay the $2.50, but it just helps us make sure in case someone says, I never got it. We can say, here you go, buddy boy.
Right.
And by the way, that certified stamp is only good if we get brought into some sort of litigation. Right? That's the only time that stamp is good. So, but I just want to make sure that we're all on board with that April 1st, because I think that's clearly a cheaper
They've had
alternative.
they've had 4 months to.
Right. You know, obviously, if someone contacts us proactively and says, hey, can I work out some sort of payment program?
Absolutely.
We address that. Absolutely.
It's
No
cheaper
problem.
and more effective than just going through Mark.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, we spent a lot of money last year with Mark to drive a point across. And I think it worked. I definitely think it worked. You know,
These families who let them sign up for swim team, or you cut them off completely for.
swim team is, we don't own the funds for the swim team. That's managed by the swim team. I don't have any problem with that. You know, I
That's
don't
fine.
have any problem with that at all.
But they won't.
I don't know if
Because they don't
last year.
they don't get a swim team, they don't get a card to the pool.
So you can't be a member of the swim team without having.
Yeah, no, you can be a member of the swim team. without
No,
being a
actually, you can't. Remember, there was, and it has something to do with the league.
We charged,
There was a $26
right, that was a legal
pool
requirement.
membership,
Right.
which didn't get you an access card, but it got you pool membership for the swim
Just for the
team
swim
member.
Right.
Okay, and that was actually
During
money that
swim
came
team
to us.
hours,
Right,
not before and after.
but we could, you know, tell them their kid can't be on swim team because.
Is there an insurance and liability issue around that too? And that
No,
pool
'cause they-
membership, $26.
You know, Chuck has always done all that. I don't think Chuck's going to agree with that. Not that he's going to be directing it, but if he starts things going, I don't think he's going to agree with that because you're punishing kids for idiot parents.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying it's something we
And if we want
should do. I'm saying it's something we could do. But I agree. We probably shouldn't
I
use
think
that one.
It's premature to even,
Yeah.
you know, let's see how it goes. Because I venture to say the people who aren't paying their bills don't have kids. That'd be
No, I don't know about that. Scott Weiss has a daughter.
She didn't live with him though, does she?
No,
I got the
I
impression
don't
she lives
know.
with his mother.
I think they
Her
go
mother.
back and forth or something.
Yeah, only because she was going to have the birthday party here. He'll be having no birthday party.
Is that the guy that?
Yeah, screwed me twice now, 3 times. My mistake. I tried to be nice to him last year. I will get you that check for $250 and get going. Ain't seen it yet.
Right, July.
Hope he's watching on the internet.
Another cup of water. Maybe some lunch.
Yeah, give me one too.
So, other than that, you know, no problematic neighbor news. Oh,
No,
that's what
actually, I
that's-
talked to Courtney. She says it's all been very calm over there. Nothing going on.
That's good. So, do me a favor, talk to David and just ask him how much footage he thinks he has of the antics. And let's see if we can wrap it all up. And I want to send it over to Mark and say, look, here's what we got of this particular neighbor. First and foremost, what can we do? Secondly, is there enough evidence here to investigate, you know, him having a firearm in his house, because there is concern about people being hurt.
Right. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. If he can wrap all that up and just throw it onto a CD, that would be great.
Do we have more? Yeah, footage of video.
Bob said it's been pretty calm over there, so that's
Yeah,
good news.
he's been behaving himself.
Okay. All right. Mosquito spraying is going,
This is awesome.
which is great.
That's worthy of an announcement.
That will go through, you know, it's likely we'll extend that through November, like we did last year. Green waste is extended through November. Started so timely, Cecilia was looking for green waste.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Got it going. As a matter of fact, I saw all the bags up down the street today.
We're starting. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was good news there. Oh, here we go. So the pool, did y'all look over the pool proposals I sent to y'all?
For maintenance, I already just read Kathy, so you saw no reason to change.
I mean, because no one ever expressed any concern about GHPM and whether they're being unhappy.
Fine, no.
Okay. I mean, I did, now the the customer service issues were personal to me, and I relayed that to them, and they're very much aware of
No,
that.
but like when we had a couple big swim meets, I know they were out there.
Absolutely,
Cool.
absolutely. They did the stuff that they need to do, and when our pools needed attention, equipment, they responded. You know, and I told them, I said, look, I said, I don't think you're cheap. I said, I think you're a little high, on the high side for some of your equipment repairs and stuff like that, but I'm not shopping you around town, you know, and I think he appreciated that. So I will let, and by the way, we're gonna change the Greater Houston Pool Management contract to run concurrently with our fiscal year, instead of on this May through April
swim
season, yeah. So we're gonna, so the new contract we got from them, we will sign, that will go to the end of December, and then we'll go that route, so that will work a lot better.
Nobody watched
It,
it.
it kept crashing, nobody was watching, so.
Works for me.
So what do we need to talk about that? Now we're not live.
Yeah, so, should there be no further topics of discussion, we'll move to close the meeting.
Works for me.
By the way, this is a barbecue pit that we're gonna have built at both the pools, something like this. That was over at the Nottingham Forest Club. We're gonna,
Seriously?
yeah, I think we're gonna find somebody to build those. I think those would be nice little additions. Far safer than having individual barbecue pits and stuff like that. And I get the sense, these are
barbecue grill.
all coal, and you gotta bring your own bag of charcoal first, so you don't have to deal with gas and stuff like that.
I was thinking we just get a Weber that we can, roll around.
$28.
We have this thing over here which is all rusted out.
It's worth trying to weld up and fix.
Well, remember we were talking about that, and then we said, why not just get a Weber,
Yeah.
I think we built something. I think that's the better solution. Don't have to worry about that today. So this is we kind of talked a little bit about planning, and we need to really kind of have a vision focus, and I'm still on the page that we need to try to have some sort of written documented plan this year. Definitely think we need to do that. But there's a guy by the name of John Montgomery who lives over off of Thorn. It's Woodthorpe. He lives on Woodthorpe, and he is an architect. And hopefully I want the board support on this, but I want to ask John if he could take a look at the property we have there at Thorn Branch and see what we could do in terms of building a pool facility. A pool house, recreational area, things of that nature. And I'm asking John to do it at no cost, since he lives here in the neighborhood.
Cool.
And I don't know if that's John's expertise. He is an architect, and I've seen some of the work that he does for homes and offices. I don't think it's something, obviously, I think it's something that has got to be part of a plan over the next maybe 5 to 10 years to be able to see the neighborhood support it. Because financially it wouldn't be, I think we could get the money to build it. That's not a problem. Obviously, you've got to be able to maintain it, support it in your maintenance, in your annual fees. And that's clearly something that we just don't have right now, you know. And that will clearly result in, you know, raising your cost of your membership fees on an annual basis as well. I mean, you could definitely go to $200 a year or something like that.
Question back though is what value can you add at that pool house? And we're using as a reference point, we went to the Nottingham fundraiser, and I'm sure it's a 50-acre piece of dirt they had there,
Oh, you think it's 50 acres?
20 at least. I don't know.
I was.
I bet it's 10.
It's probably 10.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's rolling, and they had this massive 5,000-foot clubhouse
Oh, easy, yeah.
and tennis courts and playground, and you know.
And I don't think it's. I mean, clearly we can't have tennis courts until Trish Fletcher moves and we buy her house.
In the summer,
Yeah.
summer they've got a kitchen, and on the weekends they have someone there that's cooking, selling hamburgers and cool food. I mean, it was like, and I want to say it's like 900 to join and 400 a year, 500 a year.
Yeah, but they also take people outside of the neighborhood. That's the
It
thing.
was really nice. I mean, I would love for my kids to be able to ride around the neighborhood and
Right.
It was,
Absolutely.
I felt pretty good about our pool until I saw that, and now we're like we are on the other side of the tracks.
You know, and I definitely think that property is big enough that you could build some sort of multi-purpose facility.
We would have to get an exemption on the setback, but the board could probably arrange that.
I don't think that'd be a problem.
Yeah.
And you have to tear out Shirley's roses.
That's a bonus, right?
Yeah.
But it's something I'd like to talk to John about that, and just so at least we have an idea of what this is. I mean, because we talk about growing our neighborhood and improving our community, and that's something that I think
That
they
takes a
could do.
step back though. I mean, we've got this structure here that is a beautiful piece of land. We've got the park there. Is there an interim something that we can put over here? Well, I'm back to that, somehow using that park to show the value of a big community space.
But there's no one going to the park. I mean,
Do we change the function of the park?
well, the garden people tried to do that, and that's not been.
Is it we put in 2 tennis courts over there?
It's a good thought.
So,
You could build have a little tennis club.
I mean, it's not the 80s anymore, but people still play tennis.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I think tennis is doing well. Absolutely.
I don't play tennis, but
I like tennis skirts.
You're talking about. I think you could put one tennis court back there for sure. I don't know that you could put 2. I mean, I don't know enough about tennis. I don't know that you could put 2
Maybe
back
2
there.
this way, not this way.
I think you're right. You'd have to run them perpendicular to the house.
I mean, you do
back
something
there.
over, do the parking lot, do that, and all of a sudden this is, and then my, thought is, maybe on a couple key weekends, I know we talked about this, we arrange for a taco truck to be up here, big pool weekends. Taco truck's up here, you can come, the board will have a couple kegs of beer and soft drinks.
No, I definitely think we need to have some neighborhood sponsored type deals.
Yeah.
And I think that starts with us opening this facility on the weekends, like I think we all seem to be agreeing about there. But obviously, a lot of this starts with raising our cap, and I really kind of, I mean, I think I've spent a lot of time thinking over this whole cap thing. And I understand that $100 is probably the easiest thing to do.
let me just rewind a little bit. Don't say raising the cap.
I'm just talking about between the 4 of us here.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
get that raising the cap out of your
Get the word
lexicon. No, you can say cap. We're not raising the cap. We're eliminating the cap.
Yeah.
We're replacing the cap. We're not raising the cap. We're not raising the cap from $4.95 to $5.95. No,
But we're definitely raising the cost for annual maintenance.
But, and that falls back to get that through the neighborhood, which we should have talked about when no one was watching. We've got to have a plan and to show value, what you're going to get for your value.
Right.
And this is what the neighborhood said they want. This is what it's going to cost. This is what we have to do to achieve that. And of course, I'm going to go back to my floating the Thornwood Index.
Yeah,
And I'm going to stop now.
and while $100 is probably, and I realize this has to be a stair-step approach, one after the other. I get that, and patience and stuff. $100, moves us in the right direction and is a big benefit. Do not get me wrong, but even if we went to $200, I mean, if we paid $700 a year in annual fees, and we were able to achieve some of these things we've talked about, whether it's more landscaping, whether it's better facilities, tennis court, improved monuments, all that type of stuff.
Did we get enough feedback from the holiday party where we could say this is what the folks in the neighborhood want? We could put together a 2012, 2013 stretch goal plan.
No, I don't think we did. I mean,
I think
there
we
weren't,
can
it
pull it
wasn't
together,
enough people there really to reach
People
any
remember
kind
that,
of.
or could we just say?
But
that we got
I
that?
think we've all sat around this table for long enough and talked to enough people in the neighborhood time and again, the difference.
We know we want.
We can put that together, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the question is, $100 is easy, but I think, and here's my concern is that if we ask 150 and we get nothing, what did we accomplish? I don't know. If we ask for 100 and we get 100,
And then we ask for
we pick,
right?
well, yeah, that's where you come back to. So, okay, so because for every $100 we collect, that's an extra $39,000 for us to do something with. That is a significant number for our little
Which
community.
would be like one tennis court.
Which, maybe.
Maybe. It's a lot of concrete.
So, I mean, what do y'all think? I mean, don't think about what the easy number is. I mean, what do you think about the true number is
Well, that's why
for us to be able to try to grow?
And that's why I'm saying you don't position it as dollars. You position it as benefits. And so these are the things that we want to do in 2013 that we can do if we raise it. Don't talk about the dollar numbers. This is, what you're getting back is not a bill. What you're getting is a result.
I would say return on your investment is absolutely. And here's the other thing is that
I mean, I certainly think that the National Night Out and the 4th of July, we've done some good events, and let's knock ourselves out. I think this summer going in and have a beginning of the year, jump in the pool April 1st or May 1st, party for the kids that are brave, ones who can swim the most times in the cold water. Do some fun stuff like that, but really build a little excitement up around it.
By raising the fee, I think that if we focus on kind of what you're saying is what you're going to get at it, but I mean, if you're only paying $50 extra, I mean, your property value is going to go up more than that just by having more amenities.
And
I would think so.
And
So it'd almost be kind of you're actually paying to pay yourself kind of thing.
Todd was we actually need to have the next annual quarterly meeting or whatever. Have it at that pool. Just see this. We always talk about everyone, and this goes back to this whole Shirley, BC. We're not keeping up with everybody else. We want to have the same thing. Well, this is what everyone else is offering. This is what we got to do.
Yeah.
You can say that.
Shirley and her folks have been just
Dead quiet.
dead quiet.
They're plotting against us. I can guarantee you.
You think?
As hard as it was, putting all those comments shut it down.
Mhm.
That was the whole goal, but it stopped it from going. You'll never be a problem again.
I think you're right. It's going to want A, we'll never hear from them again, or
It's
B,
shut
they're going to show up in force and they're going to just try to take the board by pure numbers.
I think
All three of them?
They're just gonna.
I think-
Numbers are getting smaller every day.
I-
Shirley's picking up, what's her name's name?
Francis.
Francis, yeah.
Yeah.
Francis is doing
Francis may not be doing well then, unless Francis is out of town or something.
maybe.
But I mean, just kind of, what do you think the number is? Really, what do you think we need to be at?
I say show value and jump to 600, 650.
I mean, that's 150 more than what we are today.
Divide that by 12. I think,
$10 a month.
yeah.
I'm not suggesting that we don't need to be.
I don't think there's a one answer, and part of the problem is, we've got lots of residents who, an extra $100 a year is not going to be a problem for them at all.
I would say the majority of our residents, correct.
Yeah, but I think we also have a fair number who, it would be, they're living paycheck themselves, or
That's maybe.
That $10 a month.
right.
I mean, that's what it equates to, $10 a month. If you
112 pack. I think
Yeah.
Sally Struthers.
I don't know. I think
112 pack.
I mean, I'm all for increasing the assessment. I'm all for investing more in our amenities and facilities and maintenance and getting the reserves up.
We just have to have a plan and show.
And we have to plan for that. But as far as what is the number, I think based, on the town halls that we've had and the ones that were well attended, $100, everybody seemed to be, nobody said that was too much.
Okay.
Some people said get more, but not everybody.
Right.
So I don't know. I think
So there's maybe 700 this year, 100 next year, 100 next year.
We don't want to always have to be. I don't think you always have to go back and change your covenants year over year because that's a big battle.
no. So
I'd rather see you make the jump once every 5 years. That would
No,
be.
I think that's why we have the floating.
then you put you jump it.
Right.
Okay, and then that is the basis for
Sure.
incremental increases in the coming years after that, whether that be based on some index, cost of living index, or the Thornwood index, or
Right.
whatever it is.
And then the flip side of that we're not thinking about too is we still need to build out the wall fund. That's the brick wall fund.
Well, see, that's the thing. This we're talking about future plans. This has to include our future plans as well as building our reserves.
No, I agree. Absolutely. That's what you're absolutely. And that's kind of how one of the things that I kind of looked at is that okay, if we did go $150 a year, I really saw okay, the $75 clearly covers all of our operating expenses based on what we have today. The other $75 clearly goes to building a nest egg. That's a general term, a nest egg. That money could get allocated however you want. It helps you create financial security. It helps you set up funds for the brick walls. It helps you, whatever it is. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Because I took it one step further, is that if we could get our maintenance fees to a reasonable number to where we could do some stuff, I think we could literally go back to everybody come and enjoy the pool at no additional cost. I really do. I mean, because granted, the $10,000 that we made this past year went a long way for our little neighborhood. I mean, it's 5% of our overall budget.
So actually that's a great thought, and that's instead of doing 100, we do 150, but it's pulls open everything. We'll come out way ahead.
Right, because the people who paid $75 more this year are going to pay $80 for the pool. That puts them at $155 for the year.
But it's also the difference of 80 people paying
Right.
$70 compared to
$389.
289 paying an extra $50.
Right. I mean, and I really, because, how many times have we been to meetings? Well, we used to all get to enjoy the pool free, and then somebody on the board came with this idea to charge for a pool membership. I mean, you got to get money somehow.
Yeah. So we could raise that as an option at the meeting. Jump at 100 now, or jump at 150, but it's pool membership included.
Not just pool membership included, but you've got all these other things that you can do to start
Well,
growing
the
neighborhood,
clubhouse.
yeah. Clubhouse, monuments, landscaping, tennis courts, lights, right? We wouldn't, think about it if we had the availability to establish this nest egg, we wouldn't have to be worried about participating in a city program for a $200 light that's 50 feet in the air. We could go to a neighbor and say, look, the neighborhood wants to buy this light and put it on your yard, and you pay the electricity. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much.
Right.
And then, I mean, you can't do that on every house, but you could do that maybe at like your major intersections where, you have a lot of traffic or something like that. There are key areas that we can light up.
What's going on with the cameras, by the way? I'm sorry I missed that. I'm sorry, the security.
We're buying 10 of them. We're going to get them going.
They're all going to be pointed at your house from different angles.
That's fine. Just me out there picking the nose.
Yeah. So, I got
See my new car?
I have not. Is it here?
It's my new car. No, it's in my driveway. It hasn't
Rusty.
been on the road since 1991. and I got it running. I started on it. I paid $1 for this car, and the reason is it's got
It's a
sentimental-
73 Firebird.
Yes. The guy bought it when he got out of Vietnam. There it is before I hauled it home. In all its glory.
Oh man, that's
It's
nice.
sweet, huh?
That doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah, you should come look at it. You'll feel a little different. I was having buyer's remorse on a Friday after I pressure washed it. But I had it sputtering in the drive already.
Really?
Pretty cool. For
That's a great
it's been
car.
sitting for 22 years.
Yeah. Cool.
Right tonight I was working on the Lotus. This weekend is put the Lotus engine together.
Yeah.
Big news, big time in Cowtown.
Hey, maybe I can get over there this weekend.
Here's the other thing that was fun that I did recently. Oh, I look like a dork there.
Yes. What is that?
I was on a Mardi Gras flip.
Oh, cool.
They had to wear
Right.
masks. And so that's an action shot of me throwing beads.
So here's our prototype camera live feed.
Oh, that's good. At night?
This is at night with no light.
Where's this mounted?
It's just hanging on the fence over there. In fact, this is the fence right there.
Yeah,
You can see.
that is exquisite. Have you seen it? Is it running right now?
This is a live shot.
So if
I'm
someone
gonna
would.
walk out there so you can see someone walk by.
No,
Well,
I want to see it.
I would also-
I want to see a license plate.
Well, we can't see license plates at night. I want to see how it does during the day.
Can we add a camera to it that flashes every time a car goes by to get their license plate?
It's at night. That's not really the issue.
Yeah, it would. But that would draw attention to the
Yeah.
fair. That's the exact purpose.
As long as no one's gonna mess with it.
Like the game cameras, the game.
Yeah.
Think of every car that goes by. Poof, poof. What's that?
People would have to notice. The problem is you just want it to be protected or not. Somewhere where people
20 feet up in the air.
food pantry finally?
Is it that high right now? Oh,
I put it out on the table there for you.
Forget it this time?
Huh?
So
So you wouldn't forget it exactly.
Is there a way to get a camera like that at night that when a car goes by, it takes a flash picture?
Yeah.
License plate?
There's
See, that would be the most effective thing, because everybody coming in the neighborhood at night would know that they just had their picture taken.
Do you want to look into that, Bob? We wouldn't necessarily have to have a flash camera at every location. We just have it at key locations.
At every
It's
entrance.
well. I mean,
Right, but if you had something in other parts of the neighborhood, yeah.
Well, here's perfect. You got 1 and 2. You got here and Muse.
Mm-hmm.
2 flash cameras, you're done. Even if it didn't take a picture, and at night it would just take a flash would go off. People would think it just took my picture.
But you can't have the flash go off in their face though, because that could be dangerous. You definitely have to be a rear-facing flash, I think.
well, you get traffic going both directions, so
But
that
if it's
doesn't
20
work.
feet in the air
Oh.
pointing down at the cars, you're fine.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, it would be obnoxious.
guess-
It would be awesome. What would be more effective to let the bad guys know that we're watching it? Because they don't do it in the daytime. The door shakers, they do it at night.
no, but the professionals do it during the day.
Right.
But also, a professional would know that surveillance cameras don't flash. I mean, it's just not the reality of the technology.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I like them.
Okay.
I think it's worth it.
I think it's a
cool.
great idea. I mean, we can just
It would be, and it would also send every neighbor would know it too.
right.
Every psychopath Jim would know.
Well, I need to roll. I got stuff out there.
Yeah, I got to pack up all this stuff.
Yeah. It's amazing how little time I have.
Hey, Mike, I need just a tad more information.
36
about the
hours.
plug stuff. When you say, just so when I draft this email, I don't sound like completed it, although I will put a disclaimer that I'm not a plumber. But
You've pooped in the toilet before.
I have. I know a little bit about how it works. When you say the showers don't work, there's only the whole one line thing that goes in and out. Will you explain?
So
that?
right now we only have cold water showers. But when they
so there's
plumb,
only one line that goes in.
yeah, a cold water
Okay.
line, not cold
Okay.
and hot. But when they plumbed it, they used the traditional, fixture that uses cold and hot water.
Okay.
So you got, a normal fixture, you have a
So there's
cold
one
water
line
pipe,
going
hot
in
water
for
pipe
both
that
the
goes
hot
in,
and cold. is
and
what
your
you're saying.
valves mix the two together to get the temperature you want. So right now, we want to just replace that, which is a single cold water valve.
Okay.
and-
Why would that just make it more efficient, or how does
No, we don't want to install a hot water heater.
Well, we don't want hot water here too, and I think it has to do with, it's just more complicated, things get clogged up, that's why they don't work now. The less moving parts, the better.
Okay.
And then, so the thought was.
Well, he'll come in okay, but that's what I wanted to know.
Right,
So.
and then the thought was, instead of having it in the wall, if you just make it a solid part of the wall and it's just a pull chain valve up here, in the future maintenance is really easy. You don't have to tear the wall apart, you just
Yeah, because he can
Unplug the valve.
he can put a stop valve up there and
turn
just,
off.
yeah,
Just
and if
take
you
it
ever
out, put it
replace that
in.
mechanism.
So get rid of traditional on and off, instead
Pull chain,
pull chain.
just like they had back in the Army
Right.
on Gilligan.
Oh, here's the camera. This is cool.
Built the stand and
That is
everything for us.
awesome.
Camera.
That's high tech looking. That looks cool. That is quality. How much is that piece of equipment?
This, not including the 2x4, was, what was it,
About
$410 or something?
That's nice.
And so the camera's actually in here.
Well, that is great.
This has it's actually a zoom lens, so you can adjust the focal length. But
Waterproof box.
Right, it's a waterproof box.
And what is this good for?
This goes to
Cat 5
your Cat 5 cable to your router. There's a video on it that I gotta put in. But,
This is quality. This is nice.
right,
This is all $400.
that was all the housing and the camera.
That seems like a good deal to me.
But we gotta make sure we get good quality photos. That's the real key thing. But I
What
think
Bob
we
just
got.
showed was amazing.
I think we had good photos.
Right.
And look, this has got things so you can put a bigger screen on it for sun glare.